When you look at the way that things work in this big floating ball, can't even be sure if it's a ball, can't even be sure it's round. Isn't it weird that they say it's round? Like you are stuck in this big floating ball. And you are not capable, like without using technology, to prove that it's a floating ball. You have to rely on other people to tell you what it actually is. Isn't that strange? So when you look at how your life is, do you feel like you're free, or do you feel like you are a prisoner? To answer that question, you must first answer this question. Who decides whether you're free or not? Is it other people? Is it the government? Is it the people that you look up to? Is it your parents? Or it's you? And I would say freedom is defined by the individual. It's up to you to decide whether you're free or not, depending on your definition of freedom. It's you who define what freedom is. So after defining what freedom is, do you feel like you are free? If you feel like you are free, you are. We all know what level of freedom we deserve. So if I feel like I'm free, I am free. Maybe I don't want to be more free. It means that no, I'm satisfied with the freedom that I have. It's up to me, you know. Freedom is defined by the individual, the same way that happiness is defined by the individual. I'm not supposed to be told by another person that I'm happy or that I should be happy. Like we gaslight people a lot, like when they're not feeling good about something, or when they're not happy about something. Like, you should be happy. Look at what you have. You know, there are people who don't have what you have. You should be happy. No. Happiness is felt by the individual. Therefore, happiness is defined by the individual. I do not have the right to say you're not happy because you don't have the things that I feel like should make a human happy. I mean, I might believe that you're not happy by looking at how you respond to things. Be like, that one, I don't think that person is happy. But I do not have the right to say that you shouldn't be happy because you don't have certain things. Like, oh, you do not have a car, so you're not happy. You do not have a girlfriend, so that means you're not happy. You don't have a boyfriend, so that means you're not happy. You don't have money, so that means you're not happy. You are homeless, so that means that you're not happy. No, happiness is defined by the individual. If you feel like you are happy, then you are. Some people think that they will be happier if they had certain things, but you find that the people who have the things that they do not have are more miserable than they are. So it's up to the individual to decide whether they are happy or not. When they look at how they feel, how they respond to things. Yesterday I was talking to someone from South Africa who was telling me that a lot of people feel sorry for him because he doesn't have children, but he really doesn't want to have children. If he did have children, he would be unhappy. So he feels good because he doesn't have children. But he's saying that some people feel like he must be miserable because he doesn't have children. You see, they're trying to define happiness for someone else, which doesn't work. We do not want the same thing. So it's the same thing with freedom. It's up to the individual to decide what freedom is. So if I feel like I'm free, then I am free. I want to avoid this thing of saying other people are not free, because they're told by other people what to do. They have to listen to other people. Maybe that's what makes them happy. Who knows? Maybe they have low self-esteem. Maybe they feel comfortable being told by others what to do than them thinking for themselves. So freedom is defined by the individual. So I'm asking you, do you feel like you are free, or do you feel like you are a prisoner in this reality, in this life? I'll be lying to you if I say that I feel like I'm free. I do not feel free at all. The fact that I was born without my consent is actually disgusting. In a prison, you are taken there without your consent, right? I don't think if I went to any prison in the world and said, look, I want to be a prisoner, I want to be arrested, I don't think they will arrest me and put me in jail. I don't think if I approach police officers like, yeah, just arrest me, I just want, like, they would want me to commit a crime first for them to arrest me. And if I committed a crime, it wouldn't matter if I want or not want to be arrested, they would arrest me. I believe that if you are taken to a place without your consent and you have to live in that place, whether you want to or not, you are a prisoner in that place. Don't you agree? If I take someone to a place without their consent, so they didn't say they want to be in that place, they might not have refused, maybe because they can't refuse. It's the same as if you found an animal, like a wild animal, and you took it home and you put it in a cage and it has to live. Like, you can't get consent from that animal, right? Because the animal can't talk, but you keep it there. You're giving it food, but you're keeping it there. You don't know whether it wants to be there or not, and it doesn't really matter to you. You've already looked at yourself as someone superior to that animal. So you're like, I can make decisions for it. I know what's best for it. But the real truth is that that animal is a prisoner. Because if you open the cage, it will want to run the fuck away. It wouldn't come back. Like, unless you open, if you open the cage, it will leave and then come back. I'll be like, yeah, it's not a prisoner. You didn't get consent from it. But if it comes back, then yeah. I remember there's this video. I don't know if that video is real, actually. So it seems like this lady raised a duck, So she took one day she decided to take it into a river. She's like, yeah, this is my baby dog. What is the name of that dog? That video trended actually. I just forgot the name of the dog. She's like, yeah, he's going for his first swim. As soon as she put that dog in the river, that dog ran away. Like it's been waiting for that day its whole life, right? So when it got a chance to swim, it just... So consent is important. The fact that we were brought here without our consent is concerning. Whether some people like it here or not, it is still concerning. Do you know that you can be taken to a place where you're a prisoner and actually enjoy being there for a while, or maybe indefinitely? But that wouldn't mean that you're not in a prison. Because if you wanted to be free, you wouldn't be allowed to be free. So just because you feel as if you are free because you are happy and you have not tested whether the place is a prison or not, doesn't necessarily mean that you are free. You are only free because of what you know and what you do not know. So yes, even though freedom is defined by the individual, it's also possible that you could find yourself in a situation where you are not free, but because you don't know some things, you think you're free. This reminds me of the movie Get Out. So this guy is taken by his woman, she was white, to see her parents. When he first got there, he felt like he was free. He could see that there's a lot of odd shit that's happening, but he thought he was free. Until he wanted to leave and he realized that he wasn't. So before he knew that, he felt like he was free, and maybe based on his definition of wisdom, he felt that he was free. Based on my definition of wisdom, even though there are a lot of things that I do not know, I do not feel free. I don't feel free in my own body. I do not feel free in this society. I do not feel free in this planet. Like, there's too many limitations. There are a lot of things that you can't do, like your body cannot do, that I think we should be able to do as humans. I should be able to choose when to sleep, bruh. I shouldn't have to close my eyes for hours trying to sleep and not be able to sleep. I don't feel like that's freedom, because it feels like something else is controlling my life. Something else is deciding when I fall asleep. I can't just be like, okay, let me just sleep, and then boom, I'm sleeping. I can't decide how to feel. If I don't like something, I don't like it. I cannot decide to like it. If I'm afraid, I cannot decide not to be afraid. Like, oh, you know what? I'm afraid of snakes, but today I don't want to be afraid, so let me not be afraid and not be afraid. I can't make that decision. So I suffer because of that, because it feels like something else is choosing how I should feel about some things. That's not freedom. You see, real free will be the ability to also choose my feelings about things. I cannot say I have free will if I can't choose how I feel about things. If there are people that I know I'm supposed to love, but that I do not love, but like, no, I want to feel good around this person, but I don't feel good around them. But this person has not done anything wrong. I mean, this person has been good to me. This person has been kind to me. I want to appreciate them. They're worthy of my love, but I can't love them. Then there's this person who's been an asshole to me, and I love that person. That's not freedom. I must be able to choose who to love and who not to love, because it feels like it's predetermined now. I cannot choose which thoughts cross my mind. I don't even know where these thoughts be coming from. I can't choose to block out some thoughts. But like, you know what? Today I don't want to think about this person. I'm mad at this person. I'm not be thinking about this person at all. Fuck that. And I don't think about him. Like, no. You find yourself experiencing things that remind you of that person. Like, we don't have that much control over our own bodies. We are too damn limited. If you lose your finger, that's it. You don't even understand how you grow. When you look at the way that society works, you realize that you're not free. And it becomes more apparent, like when you look at the way that society works, that you're not free. Because you have people who will be making decisions for you. They just decide what decision to make for you. You know, they're the ones who choose what's right and what's wrong. And there are things that were wrong in the past that are not wrong now. There are things that were not wrong in the past that are wrong now. There are things that are wrong in some countries that are not wrong in other. You know what I mean? Like, it's people who decide. There's some people, things that are wrong in some states that are not wrong in some states. But like, yo, in this state you can smoke weed freely. In this state, nah. Weed is considered to be a drug, so you can't smoke weed. If we find you smoking weed, you're getting arrested. In this country, alcohol is illegal. We find you drinking alcohol, you're getting arrested. In this country, alcohol, you can even hold alcohol in the street while walking freely. As long as you do not break the law, you're good. As long as you don't fight with people, you're good. You can just hold a bottle of alcohol and drink it, because it's just a bottle of alcohol. You can control yourself. That's beautiful. If you can't control yourself, that's on you. There are things we're supposed to know and things that we're not supposed to know. If you discovered a dead alien, and the cops showed up, there will be a lot of information that will be kept from you. They'll take that alien and you would not know anything about it, except for what you would have discovered yourself. There's a lot of information that's kept from the public. It sucks. Like, people are treated as if they're insignificant. It doesn't matter if you don't know. That's not freedom. You deserve to know. Since you are part of this world, you are a sentient being in this world, and you're curious, you want to know. You can't really be yourself. You know, a lot of people are not themselves. They're just being what society wants them to be. I keep on telling y'all that we live in a cult-like society. in a society where we are told how to be. Just like I told you in the last video that I published, that there are no real grown-ups. There are just people who learn how to live in society. There are rules, laws that you're supposed to not break. Rules that people don't even talk about. Like, there are unspoken rules that everyone must know. You break these rules, you're punished. That's not freedom. A lot of people are not themselves. And one thing that you realize about this society is that if you are going to be yourself, if you're going to decide that, you know what, I'm going to be myself, what's going to happen is that you're not going to be treated as if you're a part of society. There will be a lot of things that you would want to gain access to that you won't gain access to. Like, if you're going to be different, you might find that you don't have friends. You want to have friends. You don't have friends because you're different. You can't even get a girlfriend because you're different. People don't want to be around you because you're different. You can't even get a job. You know, let's just say you go for a job interview because you want a job. You can't even get a job because you're different. Like, you are blocked from a lot of things because you're different. That's not freedom. So they're like, yo, look, to gain access to a lot of things in this world, you got to be like everyone else. You gotta play by the rules of this cult. That's when you will gain access to the things that you want. This reminds me of this other episode of Black Mirror. I forgot the name of the episode, but in the episode they had technology that allowed people to block other people. Crazy episode. I mean, if that happens in real life, we're fucked. You'll be able, like, if you have a fight with someone, you'll be able to block them. They will not be able to touch you. They will not be able to talk to you. I mean, that will be good. Like, in theory, that will be good. You'll be like, yeah, if I have a protection order against someone, then that means that they can't touch me. If I don't ever want to see someone again in my life, that means I'll never ever be able to see their face. Like, the way that it will look is, like, it will show, like, it will not even show, like, you will not even be able to see their face. Sometimes you would actually be able to see their face, but they won't be able to see your face. So if you committed a crime, you'll be blocked from accessing some people. You know, let's say you aped someone, right? Let's say it's a guy, you aped a woman. They could just decide that, okay, you know what, as a punishment, you'll never have access to another woman in your life, meaning that you will never ever be able to interact with a woman. Like, you are blocked from interacting with any female in this world for the rest of your life. You'll only be able to talk to men. That's it. It was a very painful episode, actually, to watch. Because this guy, he was dating this girl who was working for this other company. She ended up cheating on him with this Chinese guy. He was suspicious. I mean, if your woman is cheating on you with someone, you'd know. You'd know, right? You just choose to ignore everything because that's how we are as humans. We decide to be ignorant. So, yeah, he knew that, he kind of knew, but he didn't want to believe it, that she was cheating with that guy. I think they did have a fight about him at some point, but she kept on denying cheating on him with that guy. She ended up getting pregnant, and the guy was so happy. She's like, yeah, I'm going to have a baby. But she started to distance herself. It got to a point where she didn't want to talk to him. Got to a point where she actually blocked him, right? Remember, they were living together. She ended up blocking this guy. So he can't talk to her. He doesn't understand. She's pregnant. He's able to see that she's pregnant, but he can't talk to her. He tries, and she doesn't want to talk to her. And at first she was talking to him, but she just ended up blocking him because he got angry and shouted at her, and you know, he had every right to be angry. So she just blocked him. Some months later, she gave birth. He looked for her everywhere and ended up discovering where she was living. She was living with her father. She went back to live with her father. So one day, he decided to, because he wanted to see his child, he decided to go to visit her father's home. But her father didn't want to talk to him at all. He didn't understand why, until that kid looked at him and he realized that the kid is Chinese. Dude was angry. He ended up fighting with the father, and the father ended up dying, and he got arrested and he got blocked. He got blocked from the rest of the world. Is that freedom? You want to talk to some people, but you can't talk to them. It feels more like a punishment. Freedom is having access to the things that you want. That's why when you have money, they say you have financial freedom. You have access to the things that you want. A lot of people will never get to live their dreams, will never have access to the things that they want. Some people are free in ways that you want to be. But when you look at your own life, you're like, nah, maybe it's impossible for me. There's a woman who cannot attract men. She wants to be in a relationship, but she can't attract. That's not freedom. It's the same as being blocked, basically. Like, there are guys who just won't even look at her. So it's the same as being blocked. There's a guy who wants to be in a relationship, but all women don't want him. He tried everything. All women just don't want him. It's like he's blocked. The same way that guy was blocked from communicating with women. That shows that you're not free. Those who are in prison, they want to have access to the things that they want, but they're not allowed to have access to these things. If life is not giving you access to the things that you want, then you're not free. Ask yourself why, actually. I remember explaining to someone, I was like, the perfect prison is a prison where people don't know that they're in a prison. But in that prison, people have access to different things. If your punishment is that you must be blocked from having money, you never have money. You will try to have money, but you never get to have it. And you will think, maybe because I don't work hard enough, maybe because I'm not patient enough, maybe because I have not met the right people. You make all the excuses, but while the truth is that that's your punishment. Your punishment is that you shouldn't have money. That guy's punishment was that he's not supposed to talk to any woman. So you might find that your relationships are not working in this world, and you think, it's because it's because I'm feminine. Women like this, women like that. Like, dude, women like everything. Don't let this relationship coaches lie to you. So you don't get access to women at all. And you're like, it's because I'm 5'7". No, there are guys who are 5'7" who are getting women. It's because I'm broke. There are guys who are broke who are getting women. It's because I'm ugly. There are guys who are ugly who are getting women. It's because I'm not confident. There are guys who are not confident who are getting women. So you find that life is limiting you in some ways. You want to travel. You want to go to another country. Every time you try to maybe get a visa, there's a problem. Let's say you do get a visa, now you don't have money. Like, there's always problems. Like, whenever you want to go travel to another country, like, something has to happen so you don't end up traveling to another country. You end up dying before you get to travel to another country. And you think, no, that's just random. I think I've seen people that I felt were blocked from certain experiences. This reminds me of this other video that I saw on TikTok. On the caption, they said, the day that you miss school. And then the guy's friend was saying, yo, man, there was Chris Brown today. He did this, he did that, blah, 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 blah. It's like the day that you choose to not go to school, all this crazy shit happens. But you've been going to school every day, nothing happens. It's like you're blocked from certain experiences. The day that you choose to not go out with your friends, they have fun. But when you're with them, things are not like, things are boring. And you're blocked from certain experiences. Like, they tell you that, it was crazy, man. This happened, we had all like, this guy came and then he bought us alcohol, and then they took us to the VIP section. We were dancing with so and so, like, it was fun. But you go out with them all the time, stuff like that does not happen. That day when you said no, all that shit happened, and you were like, it was gonna happen if I went out with them. Like, even if I went out with them, it would have happened. No, it wouldn't have happened. You're blocked from certain experiences. But yeah, the way that society works tells you that, this is a prison. Because we're not supposed to, like, there are some people that would even feel like they shouldn't have certain experiences. Ever dated a person and people were like, nah? Ever been in a relationship with a person and everyone was like, nah? Ever seen a couple that love each other and people were like, nah? Like, why is he with her? Why is she with him? As if they feel like that person doesn't deserve love, right? Because that's basically what we're saying. If we see people who are in a relationship, and not because like the other person is just bad, but because we don't feel like they qualify. Nah, we believe that they should be blocked from certain experiences, like being loved. Like, on a subconscious level, we believe that. So we feel like that person is doing something wrong, and we feel the need to criticize them. I remember there's this picture that surfaced on the internet. There's this guy, his name is King Munada. He's very famous South African artist, rich as fuck. He's doing very well. So he posted a picture of his woman. A lot of people were criticizing him. Like, she doesn't deserve to be loved. Like, you're rich, you could be with any woman in the world. Why did you choose her? Well, that's who he loves. But society feels like she should be blocked from having that experience because nature said no, because life said no. When you look at the fact that, you know, there, we can't go to space, like we can't naturally go to space. Like if I wanted to go to space, I wouldn't be able to. That should tell you something about how limited we are as humans. Can't go to the moon. We don't know what's out there. You don't even know what the moon is. You know, some people will be like, the moon is hollow. The moon is hollow. Some people will be like, the moon is a satellite. Some people will be like, the moon shouldn't be there. It was placed there by aliens. Some people will be like, the moon is a planet. Why can't we think that the moon is a planet? And like I've actually asked myself that question. Like, why do we not call the moon a planet? What qualifies as a planet? But yeah, we can't go to space. Some people believe that there's a firmament, like no one ever went to the moon. And it does make sense to think that no one ever went to the moon. It does make sense because the excuses that we are being given now don't make a lot of sense. When you look at the technological level that this world operates on, you're like, we should have been able to go to the moon now. If we went to the moon in the 60s, why wouldn't we not be able to go to the moon now? I do understand that they are telling us they're using science to try to explain why we can't now, but still, we know that if something has been possible before, it should be, especially if it's something that we want. If we want it to be possible, it's going to be much easier, right? Meaning that there would have been people who have been working on going to the moon. Like that would be, like, it's a very important thing, actually. Like to go to the moon, it's a very important thing. Meaning that there will be people who are working on going back to the moon. So if they fail and they keep on failing, even though technology is becoming better every day, that should make us suspicious. So it does feel like they never really went to the moon, but whatever. It sucks how limited we are as people, man, and that's why life gets boring. That's why people become bored and be like, they don't want to do this anymore. It's like the same thing every day, and they're very, very limited. And that turns us into slaves. Being limited turns you into a slave, because you want to be free in ways that life doesn't allow you to be free. So you have to pay to be free. You have to buy your freedom. The same way that slaves would buy their freedom back then. Because they want to be free. They want to go out when they want to go out. They want to talk to whoever they want to talk to. So they must pay to have freedom. So it's the same thing. It's like you must work, slave away in order to pay for your freedom. Freedom to live where you want to live, right? Let's say I wanted a house around here. I would have to work, bust my ass off so that I can own a land. So you must slave away to gain freedom. There are places that you're not supposed to go because you don't have financial freedom. And on top of everything, it feels as if there are forces that are keeping us here for their own benefit. Like, it feels that way. Like, if you were to think logically, that's the conclusion that you'll reach. And you look at the fact that a lot of information is kept away from us. Those who have power to tell us what they've discovered or what others have discovered, they don't tell us. Ever watch the news and you were like, ever watch the news and you just felt like everything is fake? Like, the way that everything is presented on the news, it just feels fake. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel human. It feels like the purpose of it is to brainwash people. Like, you will never get the real information about things. That's what will happen in the prison. You're not supposed to be given information that's going to set you free. There's a reason why money is not easy to make, because money gives people freedom. And because they're not supposed to be free, money is hard to make. Can you imagine if you had money? This doesn't feel like freedom to me. If it feels like freedom to you, I guess that's the level of freedom that you believe you deserve, that you believe you must have. But this feels like a prison. I feel trapped. We should ask ourselves why people are not allowed to go out on their own. Like, this is a very important question that we must ask ourselves, because I think it tells us a lot about this place that we're in. Don't you think that if we were free and knowing that everyone will go out one day, everyone. Wouldn't we say as a collective that, hey, because we know that is inevitable, shouldn't we allow people to choose when that happens? Wouldn't you think that will be rational? But somehow society is against that. Even if people fight for their right to make that choice. Like, no, and be like, okay, why are you saying no? God this, God that. You're like, huh? You're playing God. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Because when you think about it as logically as possible, God didn't say anything. He didn't say a person must not have the right to choose. when that happens. He didn't. We've never, like, life came with no instructions. So that means that it's up to people to make that decision. So it's strange to me that as a collective, we feel like that is wrong, but we can't truly explain why it is wrong. Because it feels like the opposite is wrong. It feels like keeping a person in a place where they don't want to be is actually what is wrong, than to allow them to make their own choice. The same way that if I'm in a relationship with a person, no matter how much I love them, if they say they don't want to be in my life anymore, I can't force them. I can't be like, I can't start blackmailing them like P. Diddy. Well, like, oh yeah, we have 6 tapes. I'm gonna release these 6 tapes if you stay in, if you leave. It's like, no, you must be free. You know, you must be free to leave if you want to leave. But if society said, if you date someone, you're not supposed to leave them at all. No matter what they do, no matter how they treat you, you are not supposed to leave them. Of course, that will be wrong. So there are a lot of things that make this feel like a prison. Today, like, there ain't that many people walking around. It's weird. Maybe it's because it's still early in the morning. So people are have went to work, I guess. Someone asked me to talk about if before I tell you what topic that was suggested for me to talk about today is, if you want me to talk about a topic, tell me in the comment and I will talk about it. So someone, and I like the fact that this topic aligns very well with today's topic. Someone asked me that, don't I feel like maybe we have done something wrong, that is why we're here? Like, this is a punishment. Some Black Mirror type of shit. The wipe off your memories, you get punished. Wipe off your memories, you get punished. Wipe off your memories. Because they've run out of ways to punish you and they want to torture you emotionally. So they know that if you knew that you were being punished, it wouldn't really be the same. If I'm being punished and I know how I'm being punished, I might just play along just for the sake of playing along. But I won't suffer the way that I will suffer if I didn't know I was being punished. Right? If your punishment is that you'll never gain any success in this world, if you knew that, you'll make peace with it. You wouldn't be fighting all the time for success. Like, oh, I must have this, I must have. You'd be like, there's the punishment. Like, I'm blocked from gaining success in this realm, so fuck it. I'm not going to be trying to gain success. Like, you'd understand why you're failing, right? You'd understand why you do not have the things that you want. And you wouldn't try too hard. Because you know what's going to happen. You know what the ending is going to be. So if they wipe off your memories and you come back, you try to succeed and you suffer. You try to start businesses and nothing works out. Like, you are suffering a lot emotionally. Because you're like, why did that happen when I start my business? Find that at the time when you start your business, someone else is starting their business and they have more money than you, so they can make their things cheaper, so people are buying from them instead of buying from you. So you suffer because of that. And you're like, if that person didn't show up, but they showed up because it's a punishment. You're supposed to not succeed. At the time when great things have to happen in your life, something else has to happen to stop these great things from happening. You got a job that you want, COVID starts. So everyone is laid off. You get the girl that you wanted. Now she's got a job in Cape Town. So she has to leave. Find that you're being bullied emotionally. Ever wondered, and this is something that has always surprised me, ever wondered why when you are about to maybe leave a place, things start going well in that place for you? Like if you decided that, okay, I want to live in a different place, and things just start to work out and you become happy in that place. You decide that you're going to leave your job. You're like, you know what, I want to get another job. Or your contract ends. Find that during the last 2 weeks, like everything is going smoothly. You're like, what? Like things were very hard. But now because my contract is ending, like everything is great. It almost seems as if there's a force that's like, you know what? Now let's just let everything work normally. Because he's losing this job or he's moving to another place. So let's make things work normally. Because why isn't your life great? Why is your life not exciting? And why ain't the things that you want to see happening every day happening? Like, will that make you feel like, oh, nah, it's a simulation, that's why these things are happening? Like, a lot of good things should be happening in your life. But a lot of things that make you feel bored, a lot of things that make you feel stressed, be happening instead of like good things happening, even though you want good things to be happening. So it does feel like a punishment in some way. But if it's true that this is a punishment, I would say the one who's punishing us is not very clever, because consciousness, if it doesn't remember anything, it's not the same kind of consciousness, right? I remember I made a video actually explaining to you all that when you have a dream, you're a different person in your dream, even though the I is the same, but the ego mind isn't. So if I sin as the ego mind, as Benedictine, I sin, and then my memories get wiped off, I'm no longer going to be Benedictine. Benedictine would have died. So now my consciousness is just being tortured, but it's not me. I'm not my it's not, Benedictine is not my consciousness. Benedictine is just an ego that my consciousness has created. So what will be punished will then be what actually sinned. That will be like punishing someone's clone, basically. That will be like punishing someone's clone. Like if they cloned me, and then if maybe I committed a crime, so they cloned me, and then punish my clone. That's not me. My clone did nothing wrong. My clone doesn't even have my memories, so that's not me. I remember I gave you this example from the movie, from the TV series Black Mirror, the episode White Bear, where they were punishing this lady for unaliving a kid with her husband. They'll wipe off her memories completely, and then when she'll go outside, she'll not remember anything, and they'll start to play with her emotions. Like everyone knew what was going on except her, so they'll play with her emotions in many different ways, and she would suffer because she doesn't have an idea what is going on. But it's not her. It's the vision of her that they're punishing. It's not the vision of her that committed the crime. She doesn't even remember anything. Now they're just being bullies. And they don't even realize that. They think they're doing something right. So if this was a punishment, I would say whoever will be punishing us is not clever. Because who are they punishing? Benedictine doesn't know anything that whatever vision of consciousness did, vision of awareness did, that is not him. It's like being punished for something that you did in your dream. Like, it's not you. Like, there are things that you wouldn't do in this lifetime that you will do in your dreams. You know that? There are things that you will do in your dreams, and you wake up from that dream and be like, what the heck did I do that? It's because you are a different being in your dream. Because your memories, if you realize that you'd have memories in your dreams that are different from your memories here. So if you have your memories in your dreams, let's just say you are in your dream and you are remembering things that make you behave a certain way in your dream. You're going to behave that way until you wake up and you're like, oh, okay, that was weird. It's weird that I did this. But it made sense in a dream because of what you'll be remembering. You can have a dream where, no homo, but you can have a dream where you're gay. I've never had a dream where I was gay, but I'm just saying, like, it's possible that you can have a dream where you are gay. And it will make sense to you in a dream. Oh, you can have a dream. You can have a dream where you are gay, and it will make sense in a dream, like within the context of the dream that you'll be having. Like, it will actually make sense, and you will believe that you are gay. And even if you're not, even if you're straight in this world, but in a dream, it will make sense. So that's why I'm saying it wouldn't make sense to punish you for what you did in a dream, because you are a different being in a dream. The ego mind in your dream is different from the ego mind here. You can have a dream where you are a serial killer and it made sense to you in a dream, but it doesn't make sense to you here. So trust me, if we were being punished, whoever will be punishing us wouldn't know what the heck they're doing. It's the same as in this TV series Severance, where they severed someone's memories and like consciousness in half, actually. So when they go to work, they become a different person. When they are at home, they become a different person. They don't remember what happens when they were at work, and don't remember what happens when they're at home. So if you punish the vision of them at work for what the vision of them did outside, like, you'll be stupid. Because when they are at work, they don't remember what happened outside. So it's not them, basically. Like, when they're outside, it's not them. I mean, if we get to a point, that's why I really like that series, because it really tackle like some really big subject about consciousness. Like, what is consciousness, and what will happen if they wipe off my memories completely? Will I become a completely different person, and would I deserve to be punished for what my previous self did? What if I don't agree with what my previous self did? What if I become so different that I don't agree with what my previous self did? Do I believe that we're being punished for something wrong that we've done? Not at all. I wouldn't really look at it as a punishment. I'll look at it as something, gaining something from treating us the way that it's treating us. The same way that they've not kept pigs in slot, like they didn't keep pigs in their farms so that they can unalive them. They didn't keep them because they hate them or because they're punishing them. Like, that's not the reason. The reason is that they want something, they want energy. But they don't care how they are getting energy from them. They don't care if these pigs want to leave. So it's the same, it will be the same with whatever would have put us here. It wouldn't really care what we did. Because, you know, this morality thing, it too is a lie. It has to do with privilege. You can blame someone for not being the way that you are, for being harmful, but if you were them, you probably will be like them. So it has to do with privilege. And that's why I keep on telling you that maybe it would be best if we gave people a way out. If a person doesn't fit in society, we would say, you know what, look, you do have a way out. Rather than forcing people to be like everyone else, because we're forcing people to be miserable. Like, they must play by our rules, by our laws, even if they don't agree with them, with these laws. And we all know that these laws can change depending on who is in power. So if a person says, yo, I don't agree with your laws, I feel like your laws don't make sense, and I feel like I will break them. So isn't it better for you to set me free, because I don't agree with your laws and I can't change them, and you're not even allowing me to present my case why I think your laws don't make sense. You just want me to follow your laws, and if I don't follow your laws, you're going to punish me, and you're going to feel justified to punish me. So that also means that I'm not free, because you're asking me to follow rules that I do not want to follow, and I have good reasons to not want to follow these rules. So there are a lot of things that we need to look at before, you know, we believe that we're being punished. I think this concept of punishment for what someone did in their previous life comes from religion, like Christianity. Like, yeah, if you don't follow God, if you do things that God don't want you to do, you're gonna burn in hell for eternity. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that you would be tortured for eternity for something that you did for 20 years or within 20 years. Some people die when they're 20, so you must burn in hell for eternity because you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So I don't believe in karma. I don't believe that we are being punished, but this does feel like some kind of a prison, but it's not a prison where we are being punished for something that we did wrong. It's a prison where we are being treated like prisoners for the benefit of others. That's what it is. Thank you all guys for watching until the end.